Yeah, we suck right now. The culture is actually like, I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from the pick sixes.
As the new NFL season officially begins with the start of free agency, there are unfortunately some things we must go over. New rules. As with most things the league has done, it's allegedly meant to improve the game, but some of them have led to more controversy than not. One of these changes that totally won't cause this is the banning of the hip drop tackle. Any infraction called by officials will now be 15 yards and an automatic first down. Another judgment call penalty and a league plagued by them. Oh, wonderful. The replay booth can now review instances of roughing the passer and intentional grounding. But knowing how well the pass interference reviews went, my hopes aren't high. What could be ironically useful are the new kickoff rules. They had to do something about them. The kickoff had been relegated to nothing but touchbacks for the most part. If you watch the XFL this past year, there'll be a slightly modified version of them. The kicker kicks off at his 35-yard line, and the kickoff special teams line up at the opposing 40. All but two players on the return team line up at the 35-yard line, not to move until the ball is received by a returner. The goal for the kicking team is to hit it in the landing zone, between the 20 and the goal line. If a ball lands or goes out of the end zone for a touchback, the ball is spotted at the 30-yard line. If it goes out of bounds, it's spotted at the 40 like it was before. Onside kicks also must be declared, thus eliminating surprise onside kicks. We'll definitely be complaining about these things in the future, but their newest gift to us comes with 2 games on Christmas. Wednesday football is back after a 4-year hiatus. The NBA is seething in the corner. Back-to-back champions. For how suspect they looked on offense for a chunk of the season, that was definitely not in my cards. Now they're gunning for a three-peat. It's obvious that the Chiefs have a huge hole at wideout. Most of the players departing at that position weren't exactly key contributors on that front. Despite being stuck with Kadarius Toney, there's only one destination that this franchise wants to go: Hollywood. Marquise Brown, despite frustrations of his own, is an instant upgrade and potential impact player. A foil to an aging Kelsey and young Rashee Rice on a 1-year prove-it deal. His acquisition is solid, but the real questions were on defense. Mainly Chris Jones. Losing him would be devastating, and they can't afford to let him go. That's why he got paid a massive haul by KC, more than likely keeping him here for his athletic life. Fantastic story, but it's not all good news though. The cap crunch and impending extensions to key players did cost them a legend in L'Jarius Sneed. The team will now be renamed Chucks. Here is your freshly exonerated punt god to Sky Footballs to the opposition. May his redemption arc take flight.
The back-to-back Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, select Xavier Worthy.
There it is.
Buffalo trading down in the first round with the Chiefs. Yes, this has definitely never backfired on the Bills in any way, shape, or form. So Buffalo wasn't able to get the receiver they wanted in Brian Thomas. It's one thing to trade down, but did you really have to gift wrap the fastest receiver in the history of the 40-yard dash to a dynasty? I know I shouldn't get attached to good combine scores, but knowing the Chiefs' luck he's going to become the next Tyreek Hill because God's an asshole. He enjoys trolling certain fan bases, mainly the NFC West in Buffalo. Maybe I'll be wrong and he'll disappoint, but I'd have to see it with my own eyes first. They can't keep getting away with it. Hail to the Chief is only the greatest soap opera this side of Days of Our Steelers. I don't know if it has the star power of such a series, but with this group gunning for a three-peat, there's drama ahoy. Rashee Rice is speeding his way down the sidelines and down the freeway, abandoning both common decency and his car on the road. Will he escape punishment? Or will he suffer wrath like Isaiah Buggs? He's just a piece of shit. Fuck that guy. Maybe he can go Hollywood like Marquise Brown. Once the sternoclavicle injury heals, of course. They'll get a former receiver like Juju to come back and all be well. Twitter sure loved Harrison Butker's graduation speech, didn't they? They loved it even more when he became the highest paid kicker in NFL history. Wash that down with Creed Humphrey becoming the highest paid center for about 2 months. With how seemingly weak their division is, the Chiefs should win it by default simply with Mahomes doing his usual thing. Their talent only rivaled by intense drama. Will the NFL force Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift to get married for ratings? Will the defense maintain its elite form? Has the shark jumped this franchise? It's not even sweeps month and the tension's at a fever pitch. The AFC is a lot like recent years. Very wide open, but seems to lack the true power that it once had. Most of it has to do with general aging and salary cap constraints, but there's a lot of intrigue and probabilities to go around. You can make an argument for many teams here to make the playoffs, and that's a good thing for us all. The AFC East particularly has a new opening. While it's available, I still feel that Buffalo squeaks by despite competition from the Jets and Dolphins. The AFC North, it's still the Baltimore Ravens. They've always been a strong regular season team. The AFC South is very interesting. Every team's got a legit shot, but I'm choosing the Texans due to their talent level. The AFC West is still the Chiefs because God hates us all. But wild cards? Damn, that's tough. I'm going with Cincinnati, the Jets, and Jacksonville. Honestly, just throw darts on a billboard and you'll have a better chance of picking them. Such is how we all like it. Preferably with endless chaos. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Ravens may have lost the war, but they have a chance to win the small skirmish for territorial rights. But even then, it merely reinforced the agonizing frustrations of a group unable to achieve tantalizing upside. Consider them the illegal formation of teams, stalled in their own path, driven back by self-inflicted wounds. Over and over and over again. Can't do that against the Chiefs. Told you this back in January, yet you haven't learned. And they'll take advantage of you dribbling shit down your leg. Bad pass blocking, bad play execution, blown coverages. Finer details missed that are the difference between victory and defeat. Oh, Justin Tucker missed a field goal over 50 yards again. Wait, again? Conspiracy birds flock above, but there's no rigging here. Baltimore's just shooting themselves in the foot. Such a crime that they should be the chiefaholic sentenced to prison. Call it that Mahomes magic, baby. Anything you can do, he can do better. Yet we need a piece de resistance. The final drive was stereotypical Baltimore. Be down by a score, go down the field, ready to strike for the kill, and then miss wide open receivers for 6. Miscommunication in this hour. There's only one more chance to overcome it.
Rush 4. Lamar trying to make magic happen. Throw it end zone. Like should be down. Yes! Touchdown!
Hold it!
Fucking Durant. That's how you lose this game, Baltimore? Haven't you shanked your fans enough? Undone by the cruelty of a toe. Sorry, boys, you have to have the whole foot in bounds. Them's the rules regardless of how cool the catch looked. Once again, missing the finer details. And the Ravens beating themselves yet again. Can you please fucking stop? I know that answer will likely be no. So Kansas City lords over the inferior as usual. You look pretty good. Enjoy your next Super Bowl run. Why you Wesley in September, Bengals? Why must you keep bungling even the most basic of things any given week? Started with pissing off Jamar so much that he's refusing to reopen negotiations for a bit. Continues with T. Higgins having to dog allegations of faking an injury, and finishes with this disaster piece against the Chiefs. Remember when they called it Burrowhead? That totally hasn't aged like rancid milk. And what's worse is that Cincy had every single opportunity to bury their opponent alive. Their defense was dialed in for the most part. Mahomes looked human. He made countless mistakes. Kansas City lost Isaiah Pacheco not just for the game, but most of the year. This should have been a statement win. But it was only a statement in agony. It isn't Cincinnati without a death-defying interception by Cam Taylor-Britt, backing up his trash talk while covering the guy he was talking shit about, getting a chance to bury the Chiefs in their home. And then Joe Burrow Slim Shady's the football, allowing Kansas City to scoop and score. Go fucking figure. Try another drive where they're moving the ball, the Zebras miss a potential hip drop penalty, and then Jamar gets so pissed that he gets flagged for mouthing off about it. Drive dead, field goal incoming. Next offensive chance to do anything? Not with Burrow getting sacked for a devastating loss. You'd think all this alone would be enough. And then came the Chiefs' 4th and a mile.
Here he's coming up. Now he's going laterally. He's going to throw it on the run, and it's broken up, and there's no flag. Oh, flag comes in late.
You literally bailed them out. You had the game in your grasp, and you did that? Why do you keep doing this to yourselves? Oh no, the conspiracy! It's rigged for the Swifties, they'll say. But that was textbook pass interference, hard-coded in the modern NFL. The only rigging here is them on the damn gallows, and you know it.
Butker's kick for the win. He buries it.
It's one thing to have slow starts. It's another to lose winnable games with self-inflicted wounds. With how the Bengals keep shooting themselves in the foot, they may as well have landed in Kansas. Maybe they'll find that infamous Burrowhead there, too. It's allegedly a home game for Atlanta, but Chick-fil-A's closed on Sunday, so there's no reason for locals to come. Enough red in the stands to assume the Bulldogs were playing tonight. Good news for those in attendance, we have ourselves another fight. Atlanta's been playing tight football at the very least. The shocking upset this past week, they're looking to do it again here. Kansas City's been surviving off bullshit and flukes. Take a wild guess that it's happening in Atlanta, and you'd be correct. Falcons can't push through and take a sizable lead. The Chiefs' defense doing their thing and Harrison Butker being automatic, they'll retake the lead with not just that, but a drive that flashes the ability that makes them great. Welcome to Patrick's world. It's full of ketchup on steak. But the good news for the Falcons is they've got fight in them. And Younghoe Koo is a damn good kicker to put them down by 5. Atlanta forces a 3-and-out. The chance has come to make a statement. On their next drive, they'll eat all the clock they can. They will push down the field, finally breaking the stout defense. They'll get down to the red zone. And the Deus Ex Machina will continue on by not calling blatant pass interference against the Chiefs. You say you didn't see it, refs? It's okay, we already know you've been bought off. It should have stopped there, but Atlanta fell victim to sunken cost fallacy and didn't take the points. They failed. Turnover on downs. The thing is, their defense did its job. They cut KC down on a 3-and-out. The chance was there to do what needed to be done. They're getting makeup call after makeup call in their favor. Drive the dagger into them? The Falcons will do that to themselves. Why are you Falcons? Every chance to win the game, yet you allow the Chiefs to escape. Just like every other victory Kansas City has had all year. They're Teflon, nothing sticks to them. They play offensively uninspired, doesn't matter when the gods of fate are on their side every week. And we know KC will get white hot in January as always. Hey, something has to make up for Travis Kelce not getting the ball. The bullshit is real. It always has been. If you don't believe it is, allow me to show you the light. The Kansas City Chiefs, God's chosen team. Only they can allow Patrick Mahomes to make bad turnovers that inflict severe damage in many ways. Only Mahomes can inadvertently run into risky runs, ending his game and potentially his season with a torn ACL. Not speeding in traffic this time, are you, Rasheed? Besides, who needs him when the Chiefs' defense is going to clamp down and inflict horrible pain in their second home of SoFi Stadium? The Bolts are already without a huge chunk of their playmakers. But beating them outright doesn't give them a thrill. They like their prey to squirm before the kill. Chance to get more points? Take them! Wait, Dicker missed the kick. KC merely responds in kind with one of their own. How about a drive deep into Chiefs territory? A 4th and short near the goal line. It's botched. And it wouldn't have mattered since there was offensive holding. Tough shit, boys, you'll suffer the consequences of existing. Mahomes and the offense do their thing and score a touchdown while Jim Harbaugh pisses away timeouts. Kansas City goes to 4-0 with another wonderful win of needless acrobatics. Deus Ex Machina reigns supreme. Let it out, Justin. The Chargers really are bearing his spirit alive. The Saints hype train died last week. In Kansas City, it was chucked into a mass grave of pigs and set ablaze. When the team comes to Arrowhead, the only reward for a high-flying offense is to be bricked. Blue-screened by a relentless and malignant Spagnolo virus. New Orleans could do next to nothing with the ball. Sure, they'll keep it close with a traditional deep bomb to Shaheed, but what else did they have? Not just featuring an elite defense, the Chiefs are equipped with plot armor and MacGuffins. Are they in a perilous situation? Unbelievable bullshit will get them out of it. Call it the Taylor Swift effect. Juju may have looked terrible in New England, but with an enchantment spell, he'll once again thrive. Kareem Hunt washed, maybe to get over 100 yards rushing. Honestly, the Saints are lucky this was only a 13-point game. It should have been so much worse. In fact, I think this calls for literal pain. Derek Carr has to go into the shot. It's over. Just lie down and let the Chiefs pummel you. We're 5-0 for a reason, but at least we got a thick pick out of it. Kalen Saunders just made tractor trailers smile somewhere out there. Sorry, Niners, you don't get joy in this timeline. You've suffered painful losses in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs, but the punishment must be amplified. Kansas City will come into your home and not only ritually torment you, they'll give you the illusion of a victory just within reach. Grasping out for it to reveal a cloud of smoke, falling to an agonizing death on a pit of spikes. Brock, meet the Chiefs' defense. They're going to take away anything that makes you a good quarterback and force you into gobs of unforced errors. San Francisco is a McLaren constantly breaking down and having to be replaced with used and off-brand parts. This monstrosity can't speed through Spagnuolo's web. He'll trap you, render you into an unbreakable bind, then kill you in short order. It happened to Purdy 3 separate times, especially later in the game when the tide seemed to be turning. Masters of Deus Ex Machina indeed. Mahomes hasn't even been anything resembling good, but we know he's gonna go on a legendary tear like he always does. It's just how the Chiefs work. The bullshit is real. Never forget it. You won't after this beatdown. Trent Williams tries to fight back, but he punches a helmet. Ejection and eventual 5-figure fine coming up. But that's not the only price San Francisco will pay. Oh no! It's the mandatory blood tithe that must be offered to the gods. This week's cost is a steep one indeed. Brandon Ayuk. It was nice when you extended him, but you forgot to look at the stipulations of the deal. Underachieving and a season-ending injury. True agony. This really is 2020 Redux. Everything falling apart before them undoing what could be a special team. Kansas City remains undefeated in their epic troll job. And now they stand alone. The sad part is their offense is nowhere near full potential. When that happens, we're all fucked. If you've noticed by now, the Chiefs lack receivers. It's pretty dire on that front. Hollywood Brown's not going to play a game for them this year. Rasheed Rice crashed out thanks to friendly fire, and now Juju's out with a finicky hamstring. They're down to bare bones. Flashes of talent, but nothing consistent. Their rivals are stocking up, then they will do the same. Remember those DeAndre Hopkins rumors from a few years ago? Turns out we had to be more afraid. The prophecy has come true. Kansas City has a nuke, and they won't be afraid to use it. It only cost a conditional 4th, but look at the Titans. They're fucking horrible this year. Tennessee wasn't using him with goddamn Mayo Man under center. Give him Mahomes and the magic will come back. God help us all. The receiver pool was scant and it just got worse for the rest of us. Yeah, we're definitely fucked now. Chiefs are at the point of the game where you've already beaten the final boss numerous times, so you just go back to earlier points and beat up on vastly weaker opponents with a naked strat. Las Vegas is at the point in their season where life is bleeding away from them. They're unbelievably desperate, yet lack the strength to overcome a group AFK for stretches at a time. The worst part is that it's always within reach. It's what the Chiefs do best. Open up to reveal delicious nectars within. Then as their prey triggers a hairpin sensor, the Venus flytrap closes in on them. Kansas City's so bored they're merely letting the Raiders get them to low health. Come on, Vegas, take it. Take the win. You're at our own goal line after a terrible Mahomes pick. Come on, do it. Steal our life away. Then they throw a punch and they're dead. The game is lost. Fumbled away like Gardner Minshew being sacked on his next drive. You know when I said free wins for everyone in the AFC West? That's everyone except the Raiders. They're pretty good at being bad at this football thing. Time to think about Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders, boys. Kansas City, under the might of some magic spells and incredible bullshit, are now 7-0. As reward for endless parlor tricks, here's Josh Uche to bolster your pass rush. The rich get richer. Tampa Bay, you may have no wide receivers, but I have bad news. You're going into Kansas City. This is all but a guaranteed loss since they have the favor of both the gods and their servants donning zebra stripes. And it's not going to be a quick or clean death either. It's going to be one of agony. Chiefs are best known for it this year. They like their opponents to squirm. It makes them taste better. Quiet first half leads to a false sense of security. Let the crew have the lead. Buccaneers make for good sport when they're up by 7. Then they attack. This comes in the form of dinks and dunks that would make New England proud. They learned from their hated rival. The ultimate demoralization. 2 pounding drives as unforgiving as the rain falling down on the ground to take the lead. Tremble in fear. The nukes are going off at Arrowhead. Yet there's a twist since the league's addicted to close games and drama. You'd think it'd be over, but Samaje Perine malfunctioned thanks to a forced jolt by what's probably the NFL itself. Tampa's getting another chance. Poor Baker's trying everything he can to win this. A solid comeback throwing to the likes of Cade Otton and Sterling Shepard. Amazing catch, by the way. Trey Palmer and Ryan Miller. Apparently he changed sports after an excellent hockey career. Foles doesn't go for the kill since he lacks power. The game is tied. But sucks for them, they left too much time for Mahomes. So they fucked it up and we're going to overtime? Figures. Of course the Chiefs are going to get the ball first. You think they'll let it go? Fuck no, man! They'll put together another demoralizing Patriots-esque drive that dinks and dunks and doinks their opponents into a figure four leg lock. There's no rope to save you. The time's come to tap out and submit.
Caliendo comes in, he's eligible. Here is Hunt for the touchdown. Kansas City remains unbeaten.
And that is how the Buccaneers lost their third straight. The bullshit is always real in Kansas City. Couldn't you have just made this a blowout so it was a quick segment for Sportsball? You really have to imitate the fisherman from that Geico commercial all the damn time? Everyone's just getting annoyed with it. Welcome to 8-0. They may have killed New England, but their spirit infected another host. Who will take out the beacons of bullshit and the undefeated, undaunted usurpers of football? Denver is the next valiant knight that will play a low-scoring grind and attempt to slay this dragon. You know the Chiefs' game. They'll give their opponents the illusion of success. Sure, let Bo Nix make a couple of good throws. Give them a false sense of security. Just that little morsel of a chance to upend the madness. A 14-3 lead is good enough. The time has come to unleash the power. A long touchdown drive merely showcases some of their talents. The rest will come later when their energy is needed. Come halftime, the clamps will come on. The Broncos' offense will be restrained as God intended. The divine intervention and blessings of the Chiefs will be constant. And slowly but surely, Kansas City will come alive under the might of Mahomes and his merry men. Yet Denver's defense is stout. They'll find ways to hold their adversary in check. And field goals are the name of the game. The Chiefs have the lead, but it's a perilous 2-point advantage. Sean Payton has something up his sleeve. He's going to beat the Dungeon Master at his own game. A dink and dunk final drive with only one goal: demoralization. Upending their longtime boogeyman with the MacGuffin of hope. Prepare yourselves, NFL world. Kansas City's destruction is imminent. Man, what a statement the Broncos are gonna make. The evil's gone. Someone cover for me. I gotta get some champagne to celebrate.
Come on, Will. Come on, Will. Come on, Will.
The kick to win.
No! 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 Block the goddamn kick! Are you kidding me? Oh, what the fuck? Oh my God, no! Oh, fuck! I give up. I give up on this sport. What the fuck? A blocked 35-yard field goal? Oh my God, I am done with football.
The next challenger arrives on the docket for the champion's head. This time, it's one that's long been bested by them in excruciating fashion. Will they finally get a kill shot, or will it be wide right? That's the concern. Buffalo should have this relatively easily, but Kansas City's game's been simple. They will not die. They'll never give us the pleasure of doing so. This contest will be a back-and-forth affair, like all Chiefs-Bills duels to the death. The Bills may have the regular season advantage, but Kansas City always manages to pull ahead when it most matters. In the playoffs, the twists and turns of life and death both untangle these two teams in the heart of war. Buffalo staying ever so slightly ahead in the chase of victory. Both squads throwing haymakers and touchdowns on the cold tundra of the battlefield. And the Bills have a chance to put it out of reach. Up by 2 and with ball in hand, they continue to best one of the strongest defenses in the game. Kansas City likes to be one step ahead. They're nefarious. And the 4th and 2 is their masterpiece. Little did they know that they just played right into the Chiefs' hand.
Fakes left, now taken off. Gonna run for it again. And there he goes. Inside the 10 to 5. Oh, the play of the year in the NFL.
Not if Josh Allen runs through every trap possible. This man is the franchise. And he proved it yet again with a touchdown for the ages. The regular season superiority against Kansas City is once again confirmed. With this win, the Bills rumble and pass their greatest test so far. There's only one sound echoing throughout America on this night. The 72 Dolphins stand alone once again. The undefeated dream lies dead, but it should have been so at least 5 separate times by now. If you keep playing Russian roulette, you'll eventually find the bullet. Get back up, Chiefs, you'll be fine. Why are you so surprised that the Panthers are rising to the occasion and holding their own against the Chiefs? KC's been allowing their opponents to do so all year. They're more content with conserving their energy for the final push instead of going balls to the wall and burning up fast. Or at least that's what they'd like to think to themselves. Carolina's a significantly lesser team with a shitload of injuries on their defense and Bryce Young trying to salvage what's been a disastrous season so far. At this point, Kansas City's more interested in game manipulation to keep things close. Allow future opponents to take you lightly. You're having trouble putting away the Panthers? That's not good for the future. This team is 9-1, but it's full of bullshit. This game is more than proving it. Despite an 11-point lead in the third quarter, Kansas City's offense has no response to future inquiries. They go into sleep mode to conserve more energy. In the meantime, the Panthers' offense manages to break the horrible spell the Chiefs' D inflicts on its prey. Bryce Young's reviving into something competent again. His confidence is returning. Carolina's finally showing some progress. And it's rewarded with a long touchdown drive and 2-point conversion against all odds. The Panthers have tied the game. Their greatest accomplishment in years. That's as far as they'll go. It doesn't matter, there's too much time on the clock. We know what's gonna happen from here. Is it worth mentioning? Mahomes and his merry men are gonna dissect every weakness to go down the field and kick a game-winning field goal. I've seen Hallmark movies less predictable than this. Just play the clip and leave us disappointed.
The kick. Schrader! He knocks it through!
So stunning. Maybe next time they'll have Travis and Taylor get married with a bunch of blatant product placement. It's par for the course with the Chiefs. Winning ugly against terrible teams while being bailed out by talent at the last moment. It reeks of 2017 Steelers vibes. I can't wait for the first-round playoff exit. If things were logical, it's gonna result in another Super Bowl appearance because life sucks. Black Friday game involving the Chiefs and Raiders. Sadly for the rest of us, this won't be a hilarious implosion like last Christmas. Las Vegas will be hoping Aiden O'Connell can throw a football in some way. Anything's better than what they had before. It's an entirely predictable situation. Kansas City gets out to a relatively decent lead and their defense clamps down on whatever resembles an offensive attack. For part of the game. Real ball knowers understand. The Chiefs suck. They may be 10-1, but KC's been playing some horrible football this year. They may have the worst defensive tackles in the league. They have no depth at cornerback. They're letting motherfucking AOC have a career day. Are you gonna try to stop Brock Bowers or their god-awful running game or anyone for that matter? Honestly, the Raiders should have a pretty sizable lead, but bullshit isn't real without the other team self-destructing. Daniel Carlson suffered poison damage and can't make a kick today. Anything from over 50 plus, better chance at praying for world peace. 3 strikes and you're out. Or that might be Antonio Pierce's timeout management. The NFL's calling for some more manufactured drama, so we'll get faux tension from here. Kansas City's only up by 2 and are forced to punt the ball back. The Raiders are moving into field goal range with time winding down. Oh no, you guys, what a tense moment. I wonder how the Chiefs are gonna bullshit their way to a win this time.
And flawlessly moves this offense into field goal range.
It would be a 50-yard field goal from here. Drops it. Flag is thrown though. Flag will stop it.
Oh my goodness, what a shocking turn of events. Deus Ex Machina in Kansas City, I can't believe it. All hail the NFL and their entertainment product. All hail the Raiders tank. Seriously though, this is the kind of shit that makes people think the games are scripted. For the last time, guys, they're not scripted. They're manipulated to make outcomes closer for the sake of fan interest. Big difference. Kansas City gets their playoff berth where cold reality will be unleashed once again. It's that time of the year again. When the playoffs start to peek into the picture and we discuss the scenarios at hand. Such a chaotic time, but not really for the AFC. Their picture's pretty much set, barring a collapse or two. Kansas City and Buffalo have already punched their tickets to the dance. Pittsburgh will most likely with another win. Houston's only saving grace is that their division is ass and they have tiebreaker over the Colts. Baltimore, the Chargers, and Denver bring up the surprising wildcards of this conference. Indianapolis is still gunning for that final spot even if it's a long shot. Miami and Cincinnati are still alive, but barely. There's been a lot of disappointment for teams this season, but there's still a chance they remembered the rules.
Don't get eliminated!
to hell. It's a land where the NFL fandom will be gaslit into thinking the Chiefs aren't masters of Deus Ex Machina and dark magic. Prepare for illusions and demon spawn unimaginable to the human mind. Scholars of the game cannot comprehend the ways in which they will torment their prey. Suffocating the Chargers in the first half is not enough. The 13-0 lead at halftime is far too boring an outcome. They have to let their guard down for the sake of game manipulation. You can't let your opponent believe there's no chance of victory. There's no fun in that kill. Let Justin Herbert and his companions score back-to-back TDs. My goodness, Liquid LA having a lead? This is surely going to hold and in no way lead to a close Chiefs win. Kansas City will begin a long drive of their own, gnawing away at the Charger defense, but it won't be enough to score 6. A field goal from Matthew Wright is their only reward. Not San Diego must charge forth, and the patented Harbaugh drive is their staple. Slowly chip away at the rival standing in their midst and push them back to field goal range. But they need a touchdown. They don't get it. They're forced to rely on Dicker the kicker to take a 2-point lead with about 5 minutes left in the fourth. We already know what this means. Turn off the TV, this game's over. Oh no, Kansas City's making a final push down the field with a chance to win? How absolutely surprising. Making the clutch seem so mundane, a Chiefs standard. With the allegations of rigging the game cry throughout the night.
This is for the division, for the Chiefs. And right off the upright, and in for the division.
All you can do is laugh. Only the Chiefs can pull off such bullshit in this modern age. They have truly been blessed by the gods to win the AFC West. Let every other franchise be envious of their might and luck. You know every single one would be doing unspeakable horrors to get it for themselves. This former hero may have made a heel turn, but Kansas City embraces it well. They did go through a half-century of failure to earn it. Justin Herbert also earned that leg contusion, if you know what I mean. The bullshit is real. Never forget it. 1 month left. Get your tickets to the postseason ready now or be left out in the cold. We know the drill by now. The AFC hasn't seen much change from last week. No clinchings, but Pittsburgh's one step closer. Houston, Baltimore, and Denver were on bye, but the Chargers lost to Kansas City's Black Magic, make it a 3-way tie. It's not set in stone. Indianapolis is a paper-soft schedule to end the year. Beating Denver will go a long way towards a hilarious berth. Miami and Cincinnati are both still alive, but have a steep road ahead of them. You aren't out of the dance until you hear the dreaded words told to a few teams already. You know them by heart.
Don't get eliminated!
Consider this game to be a modification to the Chiefs' devil magic. Instead of the usual keep it close standard of this season, the Cleveland Browns proceeded to happen, fucking the ball in every way, shape, and form throughout the contest. Holiday cheer and the spirit of giving filled their hearts. Jameis Winston felt inspiration from many chefs throughout time and space itself to deliver only the most delicious turnovers to his opposition. Both Kansas City and the meme world rejoices, for they will enjoy a Christmas feast. The Factory of Sadness unfortunately found some health violations with Jameis' stand, so they shut him down in favor of DTR. We weep for the delicious picks the world has lost. That franchise is in hell once more. Nick Chubb isn't what he was, but the gods do not care. He'll be afflicted with a broken foot that takes him out for the remainder of the season. The Chiefs not having to suffer through an uncomfortably close game? This is in violation of several NFL treaties in this current year. There has to be retribution for this insult. And it may be one far too great to bear. Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid and Matt Nagy chose to butcher anything resembling a competent game plan and got him injured on a 4th down attempt. He's out week to week. And who the hell knows what mystery box Carson Wentz is? He could be his MVP form, he could imitate his final weeks as a Colt. It was a win, but at what cost? That's the question moving forward. 3 games remain. This week was critical in deciphering the playoff formulas, but it doesn't mean that we're anywhere close to a solution. We need to go deeper. The AFC's number 1 seed is Kansas City's for now, but with Buffalo's tiebreaker and the Mahomes injury, things could be getting complicated there. The AFC North will be all but decided this Saturday. Steelers and Ravens locking horns. If Pittsburgh wins, they clinch it outright. If Baltimore breaks them, they control their own destiny there. The loser will secure a wildcard spot, and the other 2 are up for grabs. Denver's all but secured one with last week's win, but the Chargers are solely in 7th. They should make it barring a collapse. They do fall Indy gets first rights, followed by Miami and Cincy. All 3 are on life support, however. Get ready. These words are gonna come in handy.
Don't get eliminated!
Lord. I knew the Texans were having a frustrating season, but this game may have taken the cake. Look, we all knew Kansas City was winning this one. Patrick Mahomes got a few healing spells done on his ankle and was good to go. All that happens thereafter is endless gaslighting. A fumble return for a Houston touchdown. You mean a roughing the passer call on Derek Barnett. This will totally be understood and in no way fuel rampant allegations of ref ball. At this point, I'm just expecting flags to fly when Kansas City messes up. They're mostly legit penalties too, which is the hilarious part. Throughout the game, the Chiefs do their thing and the Texans merely have to take it with extra brutality in the process. Nothing screams Houston season like Tank Dell catching an incredible ball for a touchdown to tie the game, while suffering a devastating knee injury in the process. Jesus Christ, the dude suffered a major knee injury last year and you give him another via friendly fire? CJ Stroud doesn't need any more misery to go with this slog of a year. This is pain so strong that it can be felt throughout several football worlds. And to add a dollop of shit on the torn ligaments, Fairbairn missed the extra points. Just piss on their grave while you're at it. Houston could never recover from such devastation. They lose to the Chiefs' sorcery like many before them. When you suffer another demoralizing drive from Mahomes grinding out play after play, there's little you can do. Houston's made the playoffs, yes, but this all but sentences them to the 4th seed. Kansas City's one step closer to a first-round bye. I'm hoping for a twist from the scriptwriters. There better be one this year. The time has come to crunch. We're nearing the finish line. And there's still plenty of positions at the round table to play for. The number 1 seed in the AFC will be decided as such. Kansas City's a winning clinch. The Bills need to win out and the Chiefs to lose out to secure it. It's very possible considering their respective opponents. The AFC North is wide open after the Ravens win last week. However, the Steelers still control their own destiny. But if Pittsburgh slips up, Baltimore can make their move. The wildcard slots are pretty much set in stone, barring a collapse or two. Liquid LA and Denver are all but a shoo-in, just needing to win and they're in. The Broncos' opponents aren't exactly slouches, though. Indy, on the other hand, is playing glorified JV squads. Cincy and Miami are also chomping at the bit if they fall apart. Don't be left out in the cold, NFL world, lest you suffer the greatest humiliation.
Don't get eliminated!
Wednesday afternoon football. If I were Netflix, I count the money and run. Massive ratings for teams playing 3 games in 11 days. Horrifically lopsided all around. Welcome to Steeler Nation. Ho, ho, horrible. It went from New England owning them as property to their spiritual successor in Kansas City owning them. Outcoached, outplayed, outschemed, and out-efforted. Chief bullshit more than bested Steeler bullshit in every sense of the word. A total disaster from their perspective. In less than 2 weeks, Pittsburgh had a chance to assert themselves as a lead and they reinforced narratives. I swear to God, this is becoming 2020 light and I'm gonna fucking break at the seams. Kansas City, in the meantime, stuck to the script and crushed their opposition. Travis Kelce securing over 1,000 receptions and setting the team record for touchdowns by a tight end. Apparently, all the Chiefs needed was to play a jobber to the stars. Enhancement talent to bring out the best in them as a franchise. Securing the number 1 seed with authority. Yeah, it's happening again. We knew it was going to, but we were just praying for that morsel of falso. They are inevitable. I welcome our overlords to their rightful place in the throne. Pray they show mercy and I be spared execution for treason. This week settled a lot of questions, particularly with seeding in the AFC. The contestants have dwindled to a few, but there are a couple of spots up for grabs, mainly in the AFC. The North is still undecided. Baltimore now controls their own destiny in this regard. Win and claim it. If they lose and Pittsburgh wins, the division will run through them instead. The final piece of the AFC puzzle is the 7th seed. Denver holds it for now, but a skid leaves them in danger. They're fortunately still win or tie and in. If they slip up, Miami gets the spot if they win. If Denver and Miami lose, Cincy will sneak into the picture. If everyone loses, the Broncos still get it. Oh, what a time it is to be a fan. The stakes are higher than ever. And there are 3 words that echo throughout time and space.
Don't get eliminated!
Cincinnati, terrible news. You're gonna have to rely on Carson Wentz to survive. Chiefs have nothing to play for and are giving reps to their backups. Denver doesn't want to leave anything to chance and is playing a glorified Pac-12 squad. It was over before the opening kickoff. The Broncos weren't simply interested in winning the game. They wanted a punching bag. Some outcast or hated kid to beat up on the playground to take out frustrations. That blocked kick has been haunting their nightmares for months. Mo Pix is going to emerge from an interceptionless shadow to obliterate a defense looking forward to rest and recuperation, slaughtering anything wearing Chief Red in a blowout rivaling the glories of the past. And now their time has come again. It's been a long while, Denver. For the first time since their Super Bowl run with the withered husk of Peyton, a new Peyton will lead the way. The house money of the playoffs await. The final stage is set. 14 teams remain and are ready to duel to the death. Only one shall remain. And the defending back-to-back contender receives a first-round bye to recharge their mana points for more bullshit. Gunning for revenge, Buffalo has a shot, but will have to take care of business against Denver first. The Ravens receive another showing of AFC North football. The rivalry with the Steelers will add another chapter after Pittsburgh's near-traditional collapse. Liquid LA usurps the 5th seed at the last moment and will travel to Houston to face an ailing fraud squad. In the NFC, the Lions stand tall, despite missing several limbs and vital organs. Coming in second, Philadelphia controls it and faces a team that's upended such a foe last season. Be careful with Green Bay. I'd also be careful if I were the commies. Tampa Bay's been playing with fire, and in their home stadium, it could be a nightmare. Meanwhile, Minnesota's forced to head to LA for a master versus apprentice showdown. Things are hopefully going to get spicy. Mike Tomlin thought he mastered the art of bullshit. Andy Reid spent all offseason in a film room perfecting its formula for mass consumption. If you thought last year was sorcery the NFL hasn't seen since the Patriots, the Chiefs only managed to become more efficient and fortunate in their outcomes. A toe out of bounds. A pass interference penalty. A no-call pass interference. Blocked field goals. The Panthers and Chargers botched snaps. The devil magic and dark mana have been mastered by the team no one wants to win. Oh no, the poor feeble Chiefs are weakened. And then Mahomes puts in the game genie and they win at the last second. That or their rock-solid defense will do the rest. They're also getting healthy at the right time. Hoping for a one and done, but let's be real, this is God's chosen team. Pay your tithe at the altar. This season has taken us from football heaven to the depths of unwatchable hell. When there's money to be made, the product does not matter. Yet the playoffs are a different beast. In the end, there can be only two contenders dueling for the ultimate prize. I'm not even going to try to be optimistic it's going to be Chiefs versus Eagles. The matchup no one outside those cities want because the football gods desire salt. They're shitposters at heart. Very predictable ones, but I respect the dedication. We all hope for something different, but we said that last year. Look what happened. Regardless, good luck to all teams involved. They're probably going to need it. Got a prediction right? What the hell? That outcome was supposed to be a jinx, goddammit! There really is no god. Well, let's get the AFC team over with.
We're saved! What's your name, new hero?
It's Titan.
Thank you. Thank you. Titan has freed us!
Oh, I wouldn't say free. More like under new management.
The Patriots dynasty never died. It simply infected a new host. We all drew out a sigh of relief when New England fell to oblivion, yet failed to account for someone else taking their mint. Years of failing to beat them led the Chiefs to an epiphany. They must duplicate their craft. To earn the favor of the gods themselves, they'd have to resort to rather unsavory methods. The arts of unbelievable bullshit and dark magic must be conjured at every turn. This past year, oh my word, Deus Ex Machina was only matched by the whining from all corners of the globe. Myself included. You don't need much in terms of talent when you're getting every break and fortunate outcome possible. No need when the other team consistently fucks up. And it kept going in the playoffs. The Texans will regress. Their cheap parlor tricks are no match for a Spagnuolo defense. Baltimore and Buffalo, those paper taggers, you think they can beat Kansas City? With Patrick goddamn Mahomes under center? Be real. Bills made their own demise repeatedly. Mahomes needs no introduction. He'll just sidearm some throws and engineer drives like Brady before him. From dazzling to peak efficiency, the new Chiefs way. The weapons he has at his disposal are mostly similar. Travis Kelce, Pacheco, Juju. Speaking of Buffalo regrets, Xavier Worthy's here for one reason. Go really fucking fast. The speed that breaks defenses. Hollywood Brown and Nuke Hopkins are here as well. Not playing primary roles, but they do have ones to play in this offense. Brown's been injured most of the year, so that could be why. The key to this offense has always been in the homes in that offensive line. A stout, powerful batch of men that drive holes and rarely miss assignments, regardless of if everyone says Jawan Taylor keeps jumping snaps. But the secret to this year's success, despite their offensive struggles, has been their defense. Steve Spagnuolo's a master of schemes and situational football. His play calling and blitz packages in the clutch is something to behold. His unit will expose every weakness and soft underbelly imaginable. And this is a group whose only true superstars are Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie. The rest is a chorus of highly trained and organized athletes that know how to perform in any given situation. The names on the back do not matter. All that does is stuffing their opponents with tactical excellence. Their evolution's been impressive. The ways they run their team these days are very Patriots-like. They're not sexy, but highly efficient. When the Chiefs need to, clock will be eaten under a barrage of short passes and deceptive runs. Masters at breaking zone defenses. Well coached, intelligent, cerebral. Why be flashy when you can simply play smarter? Demoralize your opponent to the point of them wanting the sweet release of defeat. But none of that matters because the narrative is set. If ref ball benefits a beloved team, nobody bats an eyelash. If the Chiefs even get a whiff of it, the game's a rig. A great circle of manipulation that's passed down from dynasty to dynasty. And the sultan triggering from fandoms across the league are music to their ears. Decades of lolcowdom and failure have been forgotten. They are now the top of the food chain. A chance at a three-peat is at hand. The first time it'll be done in the Super Bowl era if accomplished. The new villains of the league have arrived. Unnecessary foil to a league desiring plotlines. Because what's the point of a story if there isn't a bad guy? They'll be shoved in our faces off the field out the wazoo. T-Squizzle, Kelsey podcasts, ketchup on steak, bundle-rooski. That wasn't corny and ill-advised the first time it was played. We yearn for a knight in shining armor to save us, yet their opponent is an evil all their own. Sometimes a chance at revenge can take a while to get to. Look at what happened last year. The Eagles got a false positive in the regular season. They finally defeated their boogeyman. Kansas City had fallen. It was their Super Bowl. Nick Sirianni was taunting fans in the tunnel and became public enemy number one, including in Philly. Like Odysseus defying the gods, that moment was when the collapse happened. The offense struggled, team defense imploded, and their only solution was Matt Patricia. The rest of the league laughed. They fell to hell, but you have to in order to figure out what your team needs. 2024 was critical. The time had come to load up for a push. Jalen Hurts is a damn fine player under center, but he needed a premium running back to take some of the pressure off. A yin to the yang. A superstar needs to come back home. That man's name? Saquon. Finally free from a shit show in New York to play behind a real offensive line. Fuck, that dude carried an entire team to relevance in 2022. Destroyer of front sevens everywhere and then some. As Barkley gashes defenses across the league, the Giants are clowned repeatedly. And rightfully so. Yet letting him go shouldn't be the main reason for it. The real team to clown is Tennessee. They let A.J. Brown go for pretty much nothing. John Robinson should read Inner Excellence. It might help him out. Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Kenneth Gainwell? More excellent pieces to make this offense churn. Even if the passing attack isn't anywhere near what it should be. Jalen's been hurt recently, but a few weeks of rest should help out there. Besides, who the hell needs that when you can relentlessly pound the rock? A short yardage situation? Why don't we just take the ball and push it somewhere else? The tush push. Football at its purest. Rewarding those with an excellent interior O-line. You're one of the fools that want it banned, you deserve to never speak about ball again. Who needs Jason Kelsey? It's barely skipped a beat. Speaking of that, who needs Fletcher Cox? That defense has made a complete 180 from last year's Hindenburg imitation. They brought in Vic Fangio to revive it for a reason. A battered secondary and withered linebacking core have been upgraded in the worst possible way. New Orleans, thank you for Zach Bond. You didn't know what to do with him, but here he's an all-pro. The secondary's been vastly improved. From a turnstile to being locked down at Guantanamo Bay. It's either him or experiencing white boy summer with Cooper DeGea. And Reed Blankenship, Big Play Slay, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson are still here. Pick your poison. There's also that front four. Jalen Carter's just gonna wreck everything in his way. Turns out assembling the Georgia National Championship front seven has its benefits. Just a shame that Nakobe Dean won't be able to join them this time around. But Brendan Graham's coming back for the big game.
Unit ready.
And the results have been more than obvious. Dispatching the likes of Green Bay, the Rams, and Washington with some struggles, but they've survived to fulfill their true destiny. It's a shame that they're such a quality team while I have to sit here and get lectured about how Nick Sirianni isn't a clown. Great. I'm eagerly awaiting it. At least it's not the Cowboys. And that's the only benefit to anything. The Eagles' only desire is finishing the job. Kansas City's been a thorn in their side for far too long. Setbacks have hampered their true potential, and now they have another chance. It's a rematch of 2023's fight to the death. Philadelphia's stronger and wiser. The Chiefs have been weathered in the dark arts. The Eagles will be gunning for revenge for a bitter defeat at the hands of a tomahawk chop. Kansas City desires to become the greatest dynasty of all time. The rest of the football world will be rooting for a meteor to hit the stadium. If that happens, parades will line down every city in the nation, big and small. Unfortunately, God's an asshole, which is why we have this matchup once again. We'll all slowly die inside and hope for a really good matchup from these teams. But I implore you to remember the feel-good story. Kenny Pickett's going to the Super Bowl. The only advice I have for Philly, win or lose, grease the polls. Just do it. Logic need not apply when considering the NFL. You can study all 22 film, analytical charts, and roster construction until you're blue in the face. Philly may have all the talent in the world, but the reality is simple. The Chiefs are going to win this game. Doesn't matter how, it's just gonna happen. I'm smelling some amazing bullshit that'll take place. Andy Reid eats the greatest cheeseburger in the world, and Taylor Swift pegs Travis Kelce with a Lombardi-shaped dildo. I expect nothing less. Make me proud. The refs took it personally, didn't they? The fix was in, we all said. Kansas City was gonna pull off some bullshit and win it with ease. Oh baby, did the scriptwriters throw a twist in this storyline or what? That was a clinic Vic Fangio put on. Relentlessly harassing Casey's offense. And he didn't even have to blitz to do it. Chiefs double magic folded like a house of cards all night long. Belt to fucking ass. Those butt cheeks were beat red after this spanking. The buttholes were gaping and the prostates were bleeding. So much for an offense when it's unable to do a damn thing. Tomahawk chopped right in the sphincter. Patrick Mahomes went from GOAT to the old definition of GOAT. Dude apparently got bedazzled by Bourbon Street and couldn't throw a football. Wildly inaccurate, flummoxed in the pocket, unleashing endless white boy summer on the world. Kendrick Lamar could have spent another 20 minutes dissing him on stage and it would have been more productive than Mahomes in the first half. It's like the Chiefs offense remembered, oh yeah, we're coached by Matt fucking Nagy. Perhaps Nuke Hopkins got paid to take a dive. Seriously, there was no one within 20 yards of him. How the fuck do you drop that pass? People keep saying the Bears should have taken Mahomes over Trubisky. This is how that would have gone for Chicago if it happened. Dude turned into Trey Lance out there. The whole offense melted down on 4-man rushes. Everyone in Buffalo has to be sitting around asking one question. How the fuck did we lose to this? These guys turned into a JV squad against Georgia's national championship team. And now they're champions in the NFL. Kansas City needed a hero in this dark time. His name, Kadarius Toney. His fumble signal didn't light up in the night, unfortunately. We eradicated one cancer and now we face our national nightmare. Eagles fans being unleashed on an NFL world. Nick Sirianni is their ringleader. This man's now immortal. Please kill me now. But while I get irrationally triggered, let us praise the real feel-good story of this game. Kenny Pickett's a Super Bowl champion. Just as I had prophesied when he was drafted. We deserve this NFL season. Now let's never speak of it again.